Welcome back to Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz, the October edition. We're in for a treat because this month of October is, of course, Respect Life Month. And so the guest today in this middle segment is Ed Harpring. Ed, thank you so much for being here in your presence. Let me tell the viewing audience a little bit about you. First of all, Ed, as the director, a program director for the Pro-Life Ministries, which is part of Family Life Ministry Office, is really, this is your 5th year you've completed.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I know you and your wife Kathy, your parishioners at St. Louis Bertrand, and you have 4 grown children and lots of energy.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Many people know, Ed, that our Respect Life movement talks about the dignity of all life from the moment of conception to natural death. We always talk about prayer, about continuing to deepen our education, and then action, advocacy. Tell us a little bit about your own background, how you got interested, and maybe a few of the things that are going on right now.
Yeah, real quickly, and again, Archbishop, 5 years, I can't believe it. So that's exciting.
Well, they've been a blessed 5 years.
It has. It really has. I've enjoyed every minute of it. But just real quickly, my wife and I, Kathy, have always been co-chairs of Respect Life committees throughout the years. And, you know, I think the combination of what we did, we kind of advocated for both social concerns issues, but also for pro-life issues. But we did it out of one committee, and that worked very well because it exposes us to a broad range of issues. You know, for me personally, and I think you know this, I do some sidewalk counseling to try to help mothers and fathers to choose life for their unborn child. Very, very challenging ministry.
For the good of the child and for the good of the mother.
Yes, and you know, there's, you know, we get a few lost sheep along the way, but it's been very helpful. But, you know, when I go back to the philosophy of what I think those experiences bring, I think of a quote from Pope Francis, and if it's okay, I'd just like to read that real quick. And I think you've probably heard this, but all life has inestimable value. From the weakest and the most vulnerable, the sick, the old, the unborn, and the poor are masterpieces of God's creation, made in His image, destined to live forever, and deserving of the utmost reverence and respect.
Masterpieces of God's creation.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It really says it all because, you know, the growing list of pro-life issues seems to be increasing, not decreasing, and I think Pope Francis really hits the nail on the head with that quote.
Yeah, well, we need to promote a culture of life. We need to do it with the right attitude so that we're welcoming people. People don't feel we're not being civil.
Right.
And
right.
So, no, I think the way you do things is a model for what we're doing. Ed, let's talk a little bit about the theme, because there's a packet. I noticed you brought it. I think we both brought our packets, so I'm going to just hold this packet up for the viewing audience. Each year, the United States Conference of Bishops develop a special packet that can be used in parishes and in dioceses in order to promote various activities and prayers for Respect Life education. I love the theme this year. The theme is Every Life, Cherished, Chosen, and Sent. Tell us a little bit about the packet or the theme.
Well, first of all, and I think this comes clear to you, is, you know, that beautiful mosaic.
Yeah, hold that up there so people can see.
The beautiful mosaic of Our Lady of Guadalupe appearing to Juan Diego. And I think that has so much meaning, especially, you know, cherished and sent, because it really accentuates what St. John Paul II said when he basically assigned Mother Mary as the patroness for the unborn and patroness for all life issues. So that speaks loudly, and I think I commend the USCCB Pro-Life Office for picking that particular.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful theme. And I think the idea of it's a lesson for us to cherish not only our own lives, but the lives of the people whom God has placed in our life, to know that we are chosen, that we are beloved by God, and then, of course, to know that we're sent.
Yes.
So I think Pope Francis's idea of being a disciple, chosen, and follower of Jesus, but also an apostle sent out, a missionary.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
wonderful.
And, you know, on that note, I think you were also talking about where do we take it from there. And there's a lot going on in that area. The USCCB has a great website for resources for schools and for Respect
We'll
Life
put that
offices.
up on there so people see the connection. Tell us the two things that you mentioned to me earlier are going on right within the Archdiocese.
Yeah, and first let me say that there's a lot of things at the parish level that we try to promote. They do that at the parish level. We try to promote it. But at the Pro-Life office level, we're trying to promote two things this year. One is foster care awareness, and I think you're familiar with this, but we have a real crisis in the fact that there's 9,500 kids in the residential facilities in our state, and that's up from 8,000 less than 2 years ago, primarily because of the opioid epidemic, and which translates into neglect and abuse. So we want to try to make people aware of that. There's lots of things you can do. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a foster care parent.
But people can go to the website. I think you're absolutely right.
And mentoring and volunteering. There's just a lot of things that we've got to do.
And you mentioned another area. We have limited time, so give us a little bit about this other area.
The other area, which is equally important, is we've done, and we've just started this the last couple of years, is a private mass, and I would say private for those that have lost children through miscarriage and stillbirth. We're going to do it this year at Bellarmine College in that chapel in the woods to try to give people that separation from their parish. If they want to be a little anonymous, that's okay. And it's a very reverent
so Ed, this is for families in which the mother has lost the child at birth,
early in the pregnancy, or at stillbirth, and just a time to grieve, because sometimes in the past we weren't sure how to grieve with them, and this is a way we can.
Where will
walk
people
alongside.
find out about this Mass?
We'll have that again on our website as well.
Well, we'll put that up then so that people can make that connection. There's so much to talk about with Pro-Life. I want to, however, say thank you to you. Thank you for just giving us some insights into all that is happening, but most especially the attitude, the faith that you bring. Thank you, Ed, for that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you all for participating and viewing this segment of Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz. Please stay tuned for the third segment of Conversations, the October edition.